everyone. Welcome to the Seeds of Success podcast, hosted by Dottie San Martin and myself, Orly Rivera. This show is your weekly dose of knowledge, insights, and actionable tips to transform centers into striking successes. Whether you are a seasoned industry professional or just stepping onto the lanes, we've got you covered. Dottie, I am so excited for today. How are you doing?
Hi, Orly. I'm good. We have a super show planned. Just like, we're a little bit biased. We think all of our shows are really super, right? But today we have the honor of having somebody that's very near and dear to me. So let's tell our listeners what we're going to do today.
So what we wanted to kind of talk about was, whether you're taking over a center or whether you're, maybe a center has been in your family for a long time. Sometimes it's time for a little change. And I know that can be scary, right?
That can be super scary. And the other thing is sometimes it's necessary for change because maybe you don't realize that the first impression that you're giving to your customers is really not the first impression you want it to be. So today we have a guest that has been near and dear to me for many, many years. Currently, he's hanging out in Italy. So we have Mik Oca with us today. Mik, welcome to Seeds of Success.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dottie. Thank you, Orly. And thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you. Same here. Mik, when Orly and I were talking about, we always like to choose topics that are very important to this industry that we're in, the entertainment industry, the bowling industry, and really beyond, right? And we were talking about in this industry specifically, bowling industry, family entertainment industry, sometimes change is really scary and it's very difficult. But, like I said earlier, the first impressions that you're leaving your customers with, sometimes change is necessary for the future of your business, right?
Yes. And sometimes from my customer, it's very hard to understand that they need changes because they live every day into their centers. So they are so busy to take care about everything that sometimes they forget the importance to update their center. So it's the basics. So this is why in the night they wake up and they say, "Oh, we need help." And the day after they call Super Mik and they're gonna try to have some help from me and my company. And this is what we love to do. Is like to help those people and bowling proprietors and or FEC owners to bring some excitement in their centers. So this is what we used to do.
And it is very scary. And sometimes you don't know where to start. But like you just said, when someone can come into the center, when you go in every single day, you walk through the door, and I don't know about everybody else that's listening out there, but I used to have a routine. I'd walk in the center, and there were certain things I was looking at. I was looking at the light bulbs. I was looking at the floor to make sure there wasn't anything on the floor. I was smelling. I was doing all these things, and I got in such a routine every single day. I was looking at the same things, but there was things around me that I wasn't even looking at because I was in my routine.
And because you are focused, of course, in details and you are focused on running the place. So this is the main thing. When my customer used to call me, I used to see their places from another perspective.
Yes.
So, and the first thing start when they sent to me the blueprint because a lot of those places are very old. So when I ask CAD files, they say, I don't think we have it. So they measure it or they send to me the blueprint and seeing that from the top of everything, real from the top, because the blueprint, you're going to see the space from the top. You see what was happening in all those years. So like the grandfather was adding a storage in a corner and then you had some shelves because you need to store some birthday material. And then another guy came and built another wall. And so sometimes you do not realize that you have a lot of wasted space in your center. So, and this is why seeing blueprints from the top, it helped me to open spaces, to reorganize things. And that's it. So the process is starting from there because customers are focused on the day-by-day stuff. Okay.
One thing I used to do at the center was kind of on the same thing you guys are saying is we would get like a new employee would come in to work for us. And, when they're new, they're not quite just ready to jump out on the floor yet. So sometimes you give them these little side projects. And what I did with our storage, like the back area with like the kitchen, some of the kitchen, like the cups and the plates and all that stuff is I would empty that out and pull it all out. When that new employee came in, I was like, can you reorganize this for me? They had never seen where it went before because everybody else would put it back in the same spot. So you kind of get them to put it a certain way. And then you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Because again, they're seeing it for the first time. And yeah, that does make a difference when someone's new and they're not seeing what, because some people, you might put your cups in the same place for 50 years, and be like, why didn't we ever put it over here and save some room? So yeah.
That's right.
It's
and
amazing.
That's where that change is scary, right? Oh my gosh, the cups are not where they've been for the last 25 years. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
No, but it's not totally true because some of my customers, I would like you to see the faces of them when they realize the potential of their spaces over there. So it's like you can see them changing his face and their face and say, oh, yeah. Why I didn't think about it before. Yes. And so this is one of the best satisfaction of our job.
Oh, I can
to see this reaction and say, Mik, thanks, I love this. And then you're going to start the excitement process because you are always in these day-by-day things, problem. And so these little things, it brings some excitement in them. And so this is like a chain. So they start with this little excitement and they say, Mik, but we don't have a lot of money right now to spend. So what can we do? So we start with little things. And then you see that they say, no, we're going to do everything because we love it. And so you start this process of building things together and it's amazing.
And not only does it invigorate them as the owner, but it also does the same thing to the employees. Needless to say, it's exciting for the customer. We know that. That's part of why change is necessary. But it also makes it exciting for the employees to see new things coming in and, things starting to change. So now you said, starting to see change and they get a taste of a little bit because they're on a budget. So you're saying change doesn't have to be major, right?
It can be done in phases. It can be just, you can just replace the carpet or change carpet with like a hardwood floor, LVT. So something that gives to you and the customer an idea that you are refreshing it. And this is the most important thing. The majority of my customers, they start from the exterior of the facility because it's always good to repaint or recolor, rebrand, change the signage that probably are there since forever and they are a little bit broken or consumed. So just replacing them, it's already something good. And adding some wording, adding some the marquee on the street, changing it. I have a customer right now that he has this big bowl and a big pin outside of the facility, and I told him, please repaint it. It's already enough. Repaint it because it was all scratched, and so just repaint it and let's see it. And because the customers are end users and customers are very well educated right now. Yes. So they as soon as they walk, they notice scratch, they notice dirt, they notice smell, they notice all those little things because world has changed. So right now there are a lot of new restaurants, a lot of new facilities. So it's always you are not going often into all facilities. It's right now with all this construction happening, everything is new. So subliminally, I don't know if it's correct or not, but subliminally you perceive this kind of new thing. So when you walk into an old facility, the first thing that you notice is the the dirt, the mark on the floor, or all those little things. So just repainting or changing. Sometimes we used to change color scheme of everything. So the effect is totally different. Of course, we always keep consistency with the brand and with the logo. The majority of the time we refresh the logo too, and we refresh the color scheme so we can carry this new theme into the facility. And so the minimal thing is to refresh the exterior, refresh the main entrance, probably the counter or the reception area, carpet, floor, sidewalls, and masking unit, or the video masking unit, whatever you like. Okay. So this is yes, this is already something that when someone walk in, they say, "Oh, there is something different. What is happening here?" So they are investing money. So they means that they are doing good. So they means that they care about me too, coming here, and everything is like a domino effect that is bring happiness to everyone.
And that makes a big difference, because when we opened the center that I was with, it was new. It was all redone inside. And it makes a huge difference when people walk in and, some people get the idea of a bowling center. They think something from the 70s or even older. So I would get compliments all the time like, man, this is the cleanest bowling center, bowling alley I've ever walked into, or I've never seen something so lit up. Just even the lights, something like lighting, they're like, oh, it's always so dark. And, and that makes a huge difference. I mean, you never want to judge you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes when you're pulling up to a place and there's like paint chipped away, you're like, do I really want to go in here, or do I want to eat here, or is it going to be clean? So yeah, that makes a huge difference.
We had a fantastic customer that is out in California, and he owns a skating rink, a very old skating rink, like a grandfather kind of skating rink. And everything was like 70s/80s style. Okay, so when he came to me, he said, this was done by my grandpa, so I would like to keep, and he was so worried. I can feel him. I can say, Mick, do not touch it a lot, please. I like it. And I said, Stranger Things brought skating rink, 80s style skating rink, again, popular. So
yes, very much so.
I was just refreshing it, adding some LEDs, using the same old style colors, the stripes on the wall. And I was just modernizing this kind of 80s style. And so it was like, thanks, because you didn't ruin the job done my grandfather, but you rebring it alive.
Yes.
And just like Orly was saying, just adding LEDs, adding brand new floor, adding different kind of chairs or seatings that were destroyed, and redoing the bar area, the food area that it was like so and so. All those stuff. It was not a major job. It was just cosmetic. Okay.
Yes.
And it makes everyone happy, because it makes me happy, because I like 80s. Also, if I am very young, so I don't know what it was in the 80s. No, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, I remember the 70s too, almost.
We're not going to go there, okay?
Yeah.
We're not
Okay.
No, all of that really goes into, well, I have two thoughts on this. Number one, I hear that, even if your facility is old, does not mean that it has no value. It doesn't mean you need to tear your facility down and start over. It means you can take what you have and you can repurpose places. You can put lipstick on it, right? You can change the look if you have the right vision. And that's kind of where you come in, Nick. You're able to see the grand scheme of things, right? And all of the things that we've talked about today really play a big part in the first impression that your customers have of your center. You're talking about starting with the exterior of your building. If you do everything to the inside of your building and the inside of your building looks phenomenal, but the outside still is in the 70s, that's a disconnect.
And also the reverse. If you're gonna spend money doing the exteriors, that the people will say, "Oh, amazing! They did something, and they stepped in the center, and everything is like before." This is not the best. So usually, this is why I'm telling you, refresh the exterior and start with one or two little things inside too. So do not do only one thing.
Yes. And it's not, it's also something to think about when you're changing, like what's going on inside as far as the experience. If you're bringing in new games, if you're bringing in a new scoring system or new technology, if you happen to be one of those hyperbullying customers, you need to make sure that what you're bringing into your facility is you're getting the maximum amount of leverage out of it, right? So, it would be like buying a sports car and going to the used tire place and putting used tires on it, right? You wouldn't want to do that. So you need to make sure that you are, getting the most out of everything that you do.
Yeah. And this can be done, believe me, in phases. You don't have to shut down the center for like 3 months. It can be done in phases, closing a portion of it. Like we used to start redoing the cafe area. And so some of my customers are bringing a food truck to avoid to lose some business during this period. So we put barriers all around the food area. We start to remodel this. And they continue to serve food, just bringing a couple of food trucks close to the facility. And then we move to the arcade area or party rooms area. So this is not affecting 100% the business. It's just done in phases. And then when you have to remodel the lanes, you can start closing like 8 lanes at a time and do it and move ahead.
The other thing I want to say, when you go to do a project like that, and Orly, this is, pardon the pun, but this is right up your alley. We are big advocates of letting your customer be a part of that journey. So let them join that journey on social media. Make sure you're posting those before pictures and here we are as of today. And, oh, by the way, next week, look, here's a box. Wonder what's in it. Yeah. All of those little things. Customers love that. They love to feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah, we do always realistic renderings of how the facility will look like. And we used to frame it or print it. And so when customer enter, instead to say, pardon our dust or whatever, that it looks always an excuse, you have real renderings of how the facility will look like. So customer will get excited about it because as soon as they walk in, they're going to see those weird barriers that say what is happening to my center, because also customer feel part of their centers. Okay, so what they are touching my center, what is going to happen here? And so just showing them through those renderings how beautiful this place will be in a few months, they get excited too, and they always compliment the owner going there and say thank you, we love it, or something like that. So it's
and
good.
You can actually be creative during that process. I remember back when we did a major remodel, we brought the customer in and we used to do construction bucks. We had completely changed our uniform. We had little hard hats that we wore. We had work shirts with our little working logo on the back. We had a blast with it. We had fun, right? But the customer also got a little perk because we did do, like I said, construction bucks. So we had a great campaign going, a marketing campaign on join us for what's going on. So that was fun too.
Oh, cool idea.
So, well, Mik, we really appreciate you being here today. Orly, is there anything that we've left off our list of things we were going to talk to Mik about?
I don't think so. It's making me, I'm thinking I'm going to hire Mik to come remodel my house because now I'm just wanting to change things up.
I'll tell you what, he is the most creative. And I'm going to take just a detour here because he has been my mentor for many, many years. And he's always such an inspiration to me because he just gets it.
You
He
make me
gets this
happy, as
industry.
usually.
He gets our customer. And, he has inspired me in so many ways to think differently and to allow for that creativeness. And he really is, he puts his customers at ease. And his reputation alone will let you know that it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this process. And in the end, you're going to be very proud of what you have. So, Mik,
Thank you,
thank you
Dottie.
very much. And
Thank you, Dottie.
listeners, we are planning to have Mik on several other episodes. He is just a source of valuable information in this industry and outside of this industry. And so we hope that you keep listening to Seeds of Success. Our goal is to help you with little tiny nuggets of information that can help your center become the very best center that it can possibly be. So we're found on all major podcast platforms. So go find us and ask your employees to subscribe and listen. Until next time, I think we have one more thing that Orly wants to add.
I do. I'm not sure if we gave the name of Mik's company, which is US Design Lab.
Thank you.
Yes, US Design Labs. And you know what? If anybody is trying to get in touch with Mik, you can certainly leave us a comment on any of the platforms. We'll make sure that we get Mik. But, there's a way to find him. US Design Lab. Mik, you are in Tampa now, correct?
Yes.
Well, not right today. You're
not.
No,
not you today, but I'm in Tampa.
He's a jet
yes.
setter, folks. He's a jet setter. He's actually not in Tampa today. He is in Italy, but that's the beauty of modern technology, right?
Yes.
So,
I can work from all around the world. Yes,
absolutely.
But the majority of the time I live in Tampa. I love Tampa. I love Florida. So cool.
Well, we're absolutely happy to have you. So, listeners, I hope everybody has a great week and keep growing your business one happy customer at a time.